Guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about a GLP. What is a GLP? I've done a lot of research when it comes to this particular topic, and I did not see a lot of information on YouTube outside of some doctors and some health professionals just giving their take on the effects, the benefits, etc. As you might know or might not know, research purposes only. But the research is researching. Let me tell you why. Before we even get into that, I do want to kind of talk about what is the cause of obesity, PCOS, and all the other names now associated with some people that deal with these conditions. We look at it like, oh, you're eating too much or you're not working out enough, when quite contrary, it has nothing to do with your eating or your movement. Granted, those things are helpful, but if you look at it, the same things that person A will eat, person B will eat, depending on their hormonal balance or what is going on the inside, will have two different effects. I've seen skinny, lazy people. I've seen fat workaholics. So when you look at it, you can't really determine the cause of something without digging a little deeper. And that was what I did. I had no problem earlier on in life eating proportionately. I wasn't an overeater, but I did eat well. Moving my body, I love to move around, I love to work out, and it stayed for a while. After I had my baby, things was kind of different. Now I know for me, when I hear the term insulin resistance, all of that, I think diabetes, I think, okay, blood sugar, I think all of those things, but you don't necessarily and normally just equate that to hormonal. Let's stop right there. We're always like, oh, I have a hormonal imbalance, my hormones aren't right, my hormones are out of whack. But what does that really mean? That is the $1 million question, because that is how you'll know what's actually affecting you, and now you can take steps to actually resolve the underlying issue. All right, so boom, I'm in my journey. I'm getting frustrated. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I need something that will work. I have tried everything under the sun, every diet, every fad, you name it. Doesn't matter how extreme, I tried it. Most I've ever lost 10 to 12 pounds, turn around and gain back 20. So it was just a yo-yo diet was an understatement. I finally got tired, and I finally started doing some research, figuring out what hormonal imbalances consist of. What is the makeup of PCOS? What is the makeup of Hersheyism? And where did this come from? Because I'm gonna tell my age, but I recall about 20 years ago, none of this was a thing. Then in 2004, 2005, they came out with the HPV vaccination. A few years later, here we are. So that's neither here nor there, but I have my own opinion and theories on that. Moving along. So the GLP actually stands for the glucagon-like peptide 1. There is 2, 3. It might be a whole bunch of other ones coming down, who knows? It's the actual hormone that your body produces naturally when you eat, right? That's what's supposed to happen. But if your body doesn't produce that, then what? We have everything that we have, causing all kind of health ailments and giving us the results we see today. Okay, all right. So your gut releases signals to your brain that you're full, and it needs to help regulate your blood sugar. All right, now we're getting close to the insulin and all of that. So this GLP-1 receptor, it mimics what your body is supposed to do, that hormone, but at a higher, more sustained level than what your body produces on its own. All right, cool. So this is something that is naturally occurring, but because it's not naturally occurring anymore, the GLP is what helps it to get in there and do what it's supposed to do. Boom. Once everything is working how it should, that's when you're able to lose the excess weight. Your blood sugar is under control. You no longer need injectable insulin if you are on any kind of medication. Your heart health, you'll start to notice you're not as inflamed anymore. It has anti-inflammatory effects. And then your whole life will change. I mean, they're naming the initial benefits of what could happen, but your life, the quality of life will change. How do I know? Okay, I told you I was doing my research, and I tested this theory for research purposes only. Great. This is supposed to do everything that it needs to do for me to get healthy, for me to get back on track, for me to lose this excess weight, for me to do all the things. Where can I find it? How can I get it? Why can't I get it? Now, I'm not going to touch on too much of the how, whys, and can'ts, but we also saw that for 1 month or one dosage was $1,000 US. Okay. So it wasn't accessible to a lot of people. That's when you had your compound facilities that would maybe put a little B12 in it or change it just enough that they could sell it at a lower price point. I say lower because it was still extreme. It was still way too high and inaccessible for long-term maintenance for anybody. I mean, even the rich was feeling that penny pinch, because when you start to think about where does this come from? How is this made? Who is the manufacturer? Then you start digging down the rabbit hole of finding out, hey, so they got this for pennies on the dollar and they turn around, repackage it and selling it. Okay, I'm not gonna get too deep into any of that. I have my opinions about that whole process, but it's gonna stay my opinion. I am just letting you know at this point in time in 2026, there are more feasible ways. There are changes, there are governances around a G.L.P, hoping to make it more accessible for the masses, for insurances, for people without insurance to be able to benefit from this. Because one thing they can't deny is that it's not beneficial, because it definitely is. Like I said, not too much here on YouTube as far as like results or you see the research, but on TikTok, there is a whole community, and that community is thriving. And I do believe, now granted, this is my own opinion, but I do believe Big Pharma has taken a look at some of those researchers and have drawn different conclusions, because I'm hearing through the peptide streets that the new medications that they're trying to come out with concerning GLPs, they're mixing with other peptides that some researchers have stacked. That's a term that they use when they add multiple peptides to whatever GLP they're using to gain additional results. So there's that. But all in all, just letting you know what a GLP is, what it isn't. Does it work? I don't think the term work is appropriate, because people often say, oh, once you stop, you'll just go right back. No, there is a maintenance phase where if you want to stay, you know, where you are as far as number-wise on the scale, that you can find that balance. But you got to remember, this is supposed to have been a hormone already in your body. So once it's repairing, I would use the word repair rather than work. Once it's repairing the damage and repairing and trying to get your body in that state to where it could function on its own. Now, granted, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, so I can't tell you if, you know, sustained usage on a GLP is gonna rebuild the hormone that's supposed to naturally occur. I don't know. But from my experience and my own research, I can say that regardless of the research, I can say that for 365 days, there's been a steady decline. Now, are there times where it increases? Absolutely. And that's just something that is to be said regardless. But I've noticed that some of my habits have changed along with just not having that craving to try to eat a lot. Portion sizes are ridiculous. I could split you a kid's meal and be full, ready to lay down, ready to, you know, carry on with my day. And you start to realize that, wow, I've literally been eating like this is a mukbang. Like I just have to have 3 entrees and appetizer and dessert and everything. You realize you don't. You're able to sustain yourself. Fasting comes easier. Your movement, now you can just regularly move through life. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a gym rat. I mean, I'm still on my journey, but the gym just wasn't in the equation. I moved around a lot daily. I still got my steps in, but there wasn't any deliberate, oh, I need to go work out 3-4 times a week, and I was still able to lose. I was able to lose 54 pounds in a year and keep it off. most of the weight loss occurred in the first 4 months. It just had been a balancing game, and then a few pounds here, a few pounds there. Had I been able to stick to a routine to go ahead and make use of the gym and working out and all of that jazz, I'm sure I could have doubled that. And that's still something that's on the table, but that's also to testify and say, even if you're not at a point in your life where you can dedicate that type of time, because life be life, and I don't care what anybody says. You can have the perfect plan and it doesn't go as you think it should, and it doesn't allow. We're all human. We have emotions. Everybody has their different walk in life. Some people have kids, some people don't. Some people, are fighting battles every day that don't allow them to just have that every portion of their life figured out. You know what I mean? So even with that, with a G.L.P, you can still lose. You can still lose and not feel defeated and not feel stuck and not feel like you have to have it all together before you can start to see improvement. And I'm telling you, that improvement improves how you go forward. Now you'll double think before you pull up for that cheeseburger, or you'll think twice, let me get a salad. Let me get a real salad. Let me start eating some real food, because I'm telling you, this processed stuff, all right, I know y'all see the videos of the melting wax food. We're not too far behind. So it's important just to try to focus on your health. And when I say focus on your health, I don't just mean go to a doctor, because I have my own opinions about that. I mean, I understand that's a topic for another day. But you also have the means, you also have the understanding, you also have these tools that you can figure out for yourself. Just think about it. A couple hundred years ago, there wasn't a lot of things that there are now. So what did those people do? It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, do I need 77 medications that all tell me eventually can lead to X, Y, Z, or even... No, I think I'll take my chances with whatever ailment I have. But like I said, that's my opinion. You do what works for you. But at the end of the day, you want to keep seeking a solution. You want to seek the solution. Because like I said, I stumbled on this when I got tired of being tired. I stumbled on what it actually meant to be insulin resistant and what that actually does. The fact that it's a hormone and it's not something just related to sugary sweets. That made a big difference. Understanding what my body is supposed to do versus what it has been doing made a huge difference. And nobody can tell me different. I'm sorry. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Okay, take a look. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not too keen on doing what everyone says, but I definitely say seek it out. So all in all, I hope this video has helped you to understand a little more about G.L.P and the effects and the benefits of it. I'll give you a little more insight for when you do your research, the questions to ask or the things to look up. If you've enjoyed this video and you're here to the end, feel free to subscribe and check out my others on G.L.P.